You're listening to the She's Crafty podcast, a comedy and craft beer podcast taped in San Antonio, Texas, home of the Alamo, breakfast tacos, and the best craft beer in the Lone Star State.
This episode is brought to you by Studio Sweden. If you're looking for new headphones, look no further. Studio Sweden offers headphones for any lifestyle that are not only elegant, but a high-quality tech device as well. Go to studiosweden.com and use discount code She's Crafty to get 15% off any purchase.
Shut up and sit down.
Okay, hello and welcome to another episode of the She's Crafty podcast. I'm your host, Catherine Contreras, and I'm super excited because we are live at The Cove in San Antonio, Texas with some of my favorite people in the world. Do you guys want to go around, starting over here to my left, and introduce yourself?
Hello, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Kevin?
Is this my fourth time on?
It's like your fourth time on the show.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's always fun.
It's just like herpes. She's crafty. It
just so you know,
goes away.
I am Kevin, and I am the Independence rep for San Antonio.
Back in new skin.
Yeah.
Like a chameleon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super exciting. We love Independence.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
This is
up,
Mando. Mando, the taco journalist.
Yeah. How exciting is that?
It's awesome.
Is there a better job than taco journalist?
No, there isn't.
No?
You know,
Maybe just making beer.
Making beer is good too.
There you go. Perfect.
Yes, I'm here to eat tacos. And drink some good beer.
Perfect. And Amy, back again.
Yes, Amy with Independence Brewing.
That's right.
Woo!
So we're here today because you guys have done something super amazing, right? So Mando, you wrote this book, The Tacos of Texas.
Yeah.
Right? How do you even start writing a book about the tacos of Texas?
Well, first you got to eat a shitload of
Just
them.
a shitload of tacos.
Oh,
yeah. Definitely, yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure if this was a G-rated show. You know,
it's not.
There's a playground right next to us, by the way.
We don't pay attention.
She didn't bring a speaker this time.
Yeah,
so.
there's no speaker.
Oh, okay, good. Yes. First you got to eat a lot of tacos for sure.
Okay.
And so, the best rice to the top. San Antonio is one of my favorite towns, obviously.
Nice.
I'm based in Austin, but don't hold that against me.
Okay, I was going to ask you that because I was
yeah.
where do you stand on this whole Austin, San Antonio taco
Oh, definitely.
throwdown?
I'm on the San Antonio side,
Okay,
obviously.
all right.
Because, there's something to be said about San Antonio and South Texas and the breakfast.
Yeah.
The origins of the breakfast taco, and it's definitely not Austin.
So do the tacos?
I'm actually also from El Paso, so
there we go.
I'm a border guy.
Yeah. So do you think the tacos get increasingly better the closer you get to the border?
Yeah.
Of course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I have a sister-in-law that's from El Paso, and it is very hot there.
Oh yeah.
We would go visit because my brother.
It's an oven.
It's so hot.
Yeah.
But the food is really good.
It's a dry oven, though.
Everybody
dry.
says that, but it
Yes.
still feels like a hot blow dryer.
Yes.
It is the worst.
Yeah. So, the tacos.
Yeah.
The thing is in Austin, everybody just wanted to go to, the Torchies and the ones with a big marketing team behind them.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, just go 1 mile down the street and you're gonna get a great, breakfast taco, a taqueria shop, a trailer.
I would say when I moved to Austin in 1996 to go to school. And the thing was, all through the early 90s, early 2000s, it's like, man, any, little, gas station that you live by, though, is all had good tacos, though.
Yeah.
And, you don't see that now. Now they're all really expensive, and you got to, go to a place in order.
They're all, Instagrammers themselves. The tacos are, taking selfies.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, come on.
These hipster fucking tacos.
Yeah, hipster tacos.
Tacos
part-
with man buns.
My first job out of college, I was working for a temp agency at this bank until I found my job. And it was funny because it was like, the taco man is here. They would announce it over the bank speakers. They're like, the taco man's here. And everybody's like, yes, you're 9:30 a.m.
Perfect.
Yes.
There's one
designated break.
There's one taco truck here in San Antonio that sits outside of Hard Bodies on St. Mary's Street.
Uh-huh.
Fuck, it's so good, but I'm so old now that it doesn't open until like 10 or 11.
Oh, yeah. Who has time for that?
No,
when you have
not
kids?
Yeah,
me.
hard bodies will still let you in.
No,
so.
hard bodies.
Yeah.
Well, hard bodies will let me in. But even then, I'm like, unless you're putting gas in my car or like doing the dishes, it's not that
It was
sexy
really
to me.
funny, though, when we announced this project because right out of the gate, everybody's like, oh, what does Austin know about tacos? So right from the
Somebody
beginning,
from San Antonio tweeted it out to us.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we kind of know, like, we went to 10 cities across Texas.
So you did. You traveled all the way around.
Yeah, we didn't just, like, take somebody else's photos and post it on a book.
Right.
No, we traveled over 7,000 miles.
That's so awesome.
Ate over 500 tacos in this trip to do this book, The Tacos of Texas.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't leave the state once.
Nice.
And we actually, we're basically like 3 taco sizes larger. As you can tell. My wife wants me to go on this cleanse. I don't know what that is.
Oh.
Yeah.
A taco
weird.
cleanse? Maybe?
No, not any of those either.
So if you had to rank tacos, generally speaking, of like what you would say is like the best breakfast taco.
Yeah.
Let's do like 1 through 4.
Yeah. So definitely for the breakfast tacos, gosh, I would say, let me think. This is like per capita. So I'm saying San Antonio, not only because we're here.
Right.
Because here, like, I'm a little exaggerating, but you could go 5 blocks and get a great flour tortilla.
Yeah. True.
Then I'm going to go with Corpus Christi.
Okay.
You know, I love...
anything for Salinas.
Yeah. Yeah, anything for Salinas. That's right. Then I'm going to go to the Rio Grande Valley.
Okay.
Those breakfast tacos are huge. They're like pizza size, basically.
Yeah. Nice.
So, and I guess if I had to pick a 4th one, I'd pick Austin.
Okay. I don't think I've ever had a breakfast taco in Austin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which is really weird.
So in Austin, it's a mix because you get some old school, like Tex-Mex joints.
Okay.
But then like it's also like the new trailers and whatnot, and everybody's like, you know, hip to the whole breakfast taco thing.
Right.
So they're doing like their own version of the breakfast taco.
Yeah.
Like you could say that San Antonio has the very traditional breakfast taco.
Classic.
Okay.
You know, flaky flour tortilla, you know, barbacoa, chorizo and eggs, like it says on your shirt.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
know,
it does.
yeah.
I wore my taco shirt today. I
yeah,
was so
good.
excited
On
about
purpose.
this. On purpose.
Oh, good.
Because I was so excited about that.
So right by my house is where Valentina's food truck started. And that's one of the best ones in Austin now. And so but also lucky for me, they didn't move too far. So it is the most perfect hangover remedy in the whole world. And it's like it's like the ultimate breakfast taco, but it's because you can add smoked brisket.
oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
It's so damn
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean-
so it's called the Real Deal Holyfield.
Yeah.
And so basically it's on a flour tortilla, beans, potatoes, the brisket, bacon,
Ooh.
and then you top it up with a fried egg.
Yeah.
And then the salsa.
Yeah.
It's like
That sounds
You won't eat
pretty
for-
legit.
Yeah.
you don't eat at least for another 4 hours minimum. 4 hours.
Okay, so let's just do a little association right now. We'll go around the table, okay? Flour or corn?
Flour.
Corn.
Depends, but flour for breakfast tacos for me.
Okay.
Just typically the flour are much larger, so I get more.
yeah,
out of
there's
it.
more of it. Yeah.
But
That's
the
a lot of
corn
reason.
is the food of the people.
Yeah, it's
You
the
know?
original. Yeah.
And always double corn.
Of course,
And if-
because it
and if
doesn't
it's-
hold. It won't hold
yeah.
otherwise.
If it's like
Yeah.
a true legit like local place, then
Yeah.
yeah, I'll get corn because that's how they intend it. So
Right.
go with what the
Yeah.
cooks want.
Carne guisado with cheese or without cheese?
Man,
Cheese makes the world go round.
yeah.
Again,
Cheese.
yeah.
I like cheese.
Yeah, cheese is fucking delicious. I always get it with cheese.
Yeah, I'll give it cheese.
Bean and cheese with or without bacon?
Mostly without bacon.
Really?
Honestly.
Okay.
Bacon has its place everywhere in the world, but
Not
mostly?
in your bean and cheese taco?
I have to go full bacon on
Full
this
bacon?
one, man.
Yeah.
I am a bacon man.
Yeah.
And the creaminess of the beans, the cheese, and then the saltiness of the bacon wrapped in a flour tortilla. Damn.
Yeah, as long as it's chopped.
Hold
I
it.
mean, I don't know.
Chopped bacon?
Oh, you want it chopped up?
Chopped
I
up.
don't know. Either way,
Yeah.
but it's like sometimes it seems like if it just all comes out, I don't know.
Yeah.
Extra crispy for me.
Yeah, definitely crispy. That's
Yeah.
where I was going.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I'm really hungry now.
I just ate, and I could eat
Right?
again already.
I'm like now just thinking about fucking bean and
Who
cheese and
serves
bacon.
breakfast tacos 24 hours? What's up?
Everybody.
Everybody.
What I liked about when we first found Mando in this book, it was like what I most appreciated as I started reading the book, though, is it made me want to go everywhere in the book. I was like, man, I was like, well, I've actually never been to Laredo, so now I'm like, damn.
I want to
go to Laredo. I know where to go now.
Yeah.
You know, and I actually did have to deliver some beer to Laredo for Alamo Draft House for the winter. Like I was like, promised them I would hit every Alamo Draft House. So and then it's funny, I started this brewery when who's the one who delivers the kegs to Laredo?
Yeah,
me in my Jeep. And I was like, I'm going to Laredo.
So it looks like a little adventure.
So,
okay, so now I'm going to take it back. I forgot about Laredo.
Okay.
So in Laredo, they call their breakfast tacos mariachis. So,
okay.
So yeah, they're good. They're big. Yes. So sorry, Austin. You're getting bumped.
Yeah.
So
well,
Laredo's in the mix.
Austin will survive.
I think they'll survive.
Yeah. They'll survive this one podcast.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine. So you guys, so you've got this whole taco thing in the bag, right? You're the guy with the tacos. You're the lady with the beer. How does this little taco beer marriage happen?
Well, it's lucky that I listen to NPR.
Okay.
And I'm a huge fan of the Texas Standard Show.
Yes.
So about a year and a half ago, at least, I was just driving to work and I heard Mando and Jared on the radio, and I was like, they were talking about their book, and I was like, how fucking cool is that? Like, I want to go drive all over Texas eating tacos and seeing, like, they're really great storytellers, though, too, and it's like the magic is finding the people and telling their stories, and, like, some of the places have just been there so long, and it's multi-generational, and it's like I really just fell in love with the whole idea of what they were doing. So, like, I don't know, I think I just, like, found them on Facebook and was like, hey, do you guys need a beer sponsor? Kind of thing. And it was
did. We love beer.
And it was like, as a matter of fact, we are doing this thing. And so we worked out the first one, which happened to be in Austin. And then just kind of took it from there. But, they kind of just took the show on the road. And it was really cool being able to take the beer on the road to different folks, and especially some places where we actually don't even have distribution. So, sending the beer. You can speak to it more, but I know how it went down on the cities where we're already at. But the magic to me also was really fun. Is like they were getting ready. One of the last ones was in El Paso.
Yeah.
And it's like hauling the beer to El Paso, and it was funny because we were just like loading up. And it was like, that actually is like kind of approaching wintertime. And so we had this little last bit of cucumber red bud. And I was like, fuck it, just take the cucumber red bud too. Like, I'm sure it'll go great, And it was like, definitely like the surprise of the whole event is people are like, what's this cucumber beer,
Yeah.
And it's like, what I love about sometimes partnerships is, and going into things where you don't have set expectations, is that you can just see how it all develops naturally. There's no preconceived ideas. And what I loved was I didn't get to go do the El Paso event, but when those guys came back and they're like, holy shit, the people love the cucumber beer. And I was like, they never had anything like it. Yeah.
That's because we put cucumber in our tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's perfect.
So just being able to embrace like the unexpected is essentially like I think that's how the partnership really happened, is because we both we're willing to go to new places and try new things, and that's what you need for real collaboration.
Right.
It's just being able to try new, don't have any set ideas. And that's actually what I love. Is all the things about this project have been so much about what got me into brewing to begin with. It's like always had this desire to introduce new beers to people, and this has just been a completely happened all over again, So in a lot of ways, after Mando and them came back from El Paso, I was like, like screw market research, like let's send the beer and then see what people like, and because I was just always think about that, like, I love the Brewers Association, but they always like have the Nielsen studies and everybody's like hearing the same stuff, and I'm like, man, but we could just go there and like bring all the beer and see what people like, what people respond to, and guess what? It surprises you. I guarantee you, no market researcher would have told me a cucumber-infused Berliner Weiss would have been the most popular beer at the party. I can guarantee you that.
Because it's delicious.
Yeah.
So,
no, go ahead.
This Revolution beer, you guys, Revolucion beer, tell me a little bit about how you came up with the flavor profiles and how you guys decided that this was like the beer to pair with tacos.
Yeah. Well, after our book tour and all these events, the pop-up events, we actually had a couple at the brewery, right, in Austin. And I'm a home cook too, so I make tacos. I don't just write about them. I talk about them, but I actually make them. And so I was making carnitas. We're doing a taco pop-up with other taqueros there too. And I make my carnitas like with citrus, with some oranges and whatnot. And, it's like about 15 different ingredients. So it's a complicated and complex recipe, as it should be, if you want a good taco.
Right.
And so we were brainstorming, we're like, oh my God. And I was actually cooking with one of their beers, right? And we're like, we should do a taco beer. Like not a beer that tastes like tacos, but something that will complement it, that will be as complex as, something that I'm making here.
Right.
Or, like if you do a good marinade on fajitas or the pineapple from Tacos al Pastor. So we wanted to kind of complement those flavors that also was a little bit unexpected because we didn't want to go the traditional lager route, and because I'm a fan of the craft.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, but it was like, hey, like let's set out open-mindedly to see what could be. Like let's just not go in with that preconceived notion of that it would have to be a lager.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then push on those stereotypes because when you think about it, like whenever like somebody's advertising to me with like what kind of beer I should drink, it's always like a light beer or a Mexican beer.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but that's not the only beer I drink.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where it kind of came from.
So Kevin, being the rep for San Antonio, what kind of response and like reception have you gotten, being that we're like the taco?
Everybody's just
capital
kind of taken aback about the uniqueness,
Yeah.
And whenever I'm talking to people, they always do bring up the difference between Austin and San Antonio, and I'm like, hey, we've got this in the bag. Our tacos are supreme.
Right.
But once they try the beer, San Antonio is a really difficult market in general to kind of deal with. So you have to be out in the market and you have to sample people on it all the time to really get them to try it. Because they're still really nervous about a lot of stuff because they've had some funky beers that just don't work.
Yeah.
So just trying to tell them, like, it's a Saison, it's a really light body, it's got a little citrusness, and just try it, take a little sip, and then they're like, oh, that's not bad. I usually drink lagers or whatever, and it's like there's a whole other world out there besides your light lager that you can work with.
And then you hit them with that red bud.
Yeah.
Right after, right?
Well,
it's going to take a couple sips to get used to, but
we had at the kickoff party we did at the brewery July 1st, just kind of invited everybody we knew. It was just on Facebook, and people came out of the woodwork, really. I think it was like the combination of like all the taco people we had invited.
Anything to do with tacos, people just
and
lose
all
their
the
shit.
music and everything. But I had like this really awesome experience with this band that actually when Rob and I were first trying to start the brewery, we went to everything, and I remember since we both went to UT, we did these Texas X's events and stuff. And so this guy said, Amy, you might not remember me. I was at this thing back in like 2003 or 4.
Wow.
2004 when you guys were first started. It was this Texas X's thing. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember. Okay. And so he's talking to me, and I noticed his dad's off to the side. I was like, come on, like bring your dad in. Like, I'm not going to exclude your dad, like while we're talking. And then he's like, little old Mexican man. And he's like, I came from Lubbock. And he says, oh, well, I was like, well, can I get you a beer? And he says, well, is there anything light? And I said, okay, yeah, I'll get you one of these, And he says, is this a Mexican beer? And I was like, how about I'm just going to pour you a little tiny bit. You just try it. If you don't like it, you're not going to hurt my feelings. But just give it a shot.
Yeah.
And he drinks it, and he was like, this is really good, And I was like, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. He didn't, I was like, when he asked me, is this a Mexican beer? I'm like, I'm not even going to answer your question.
Right.
Because
I want you to
I don't
taste
want
it
to.
first.
I just
There was
just
a
try
Mexican
it.
involved in the process.
Yeah.
This
There
guy
you go.
right here.
Yeah. There you go. So yes, it is.
You know, but you know, when we were playing around with some of the ideas behind it, we were definitely had to consume tacos. We were sitting there trying all of our beers, and we had on our pilot system at the brewery, we typically have about 3 or 4, you know, just different project beers that we're working on at a time. And so a lot of times the junior brewers, they will just do a simple recipe just to get it under their belt and maybe experiment with 1 or 2 factors, but they tend to be pretty straightforward, true to style.
Yeah.
So we just happen to have this very like straightforward, simple Saison on tap that one of the younger brewers had brewed, and then when we were sitting there, I was like, I'm just gonna go. So we tried some of the beers we had thought of. We're talking with Mando and his crew. And we're like, but let's just try them all. Screw it. Let's just have everything on the wall. And so we were having that Saison with the tacos, and it was like, you know, definitely a style that was not as expected, but it's like, man, it really did, you know, some of the herbal notes from just natural from fermentation are really complementary to cumin and cilantro and some of the other features that you would expect in marinades and just in the dish. So that's kind of how how it came to be.
Yeah.
But it really took Brandon, our head brewer, is also originally from San Antonio.
Okay.
Schooled in the art of taco consumption. And he was like, no, there's this. He's like, Strisselspalt. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Strisselspalt tops. That's what we need. And I was like, you're just doing that because you like to say Strisselspalt. And he's like, yes, I am. No, but that's actually that little citrusy finish that you get is actually from that hop. And it's kind of a weird, obscure French hop. And I was like, whatever. Like, thank God for Brandon because he is the knowledge bearer of our brewery and is a badass. So that was the magic.
That's awesome.
That's the magic touch right there.
And I think, like, from the beginning, we also wanted, we didn't want to do, like, this whole, like, margarita in a can or lime and whatever. So, like, and the focus was, like, that citrus, you know? The because of the carnitas that I was making with the oranges.
But it's like getting it to where it's a really natural flavor and not, like, an addition is the trick. Because I don't know, I am really sensitive to like aspartame and when you have like just a more of a chemical infused fruit flavor, you can just tell, you know, it's not a naturally derived flavor. So using the hop to achieve the citrusy note was awesome.
Awesome. Well, that's super exciting, you guys. And this beer is fucking delicious. It's really good.
Yeah.
And it's one of those beers that like I could probably drink 3 more.
Yeah, it's on the lighter side.
Yeah, it's not. Those are my favorite.
Oh yeah.
If I'm being honest. All right, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna move over for just a minute and talk to Dot-O over here, our musical guest, see what he's been doing, and get him to play a couple songs for us. All right, so I'm gonna move this. Pass him that mic. I guess I'll just stay here.
Thank you.
Hello, good sir.
Hello, ma'am.
How are you?
Pretty good. It's been a while.
It's been a while. I think about a year, right? Since the last time you were on the show. What have you been up to?
Man, just been working on new music. I moved back to Houston.
Okay.
So I've been out there just grinding, just trying to, make things work out there.
Yeah. What's the taco scene like in Houston?
Man, the taco scene out in Houston, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Yeah, there's this place I actually do go to right around my corner. It's like a breakfast little spot, but they have some like really nice tacos.
Oh, nice.
And that's usually where I go. When I do get tacos, probably like once or twice a month.
Cool.
But, they have some pretty nice tacos.
Nice. So I know you came out with an album, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And where can people find that?
They can find that on iTunes, Spotify.
Okay.
And so that's like the main platforms. It's on a few other ones, but those are like the main ones, iTunes and Spotify.
Perfect. What song are you going to sing for us right now?
Well, I feel like I will do a song called Wait.
Okay.
I'm not sure how the music will work.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure if it's going to plug in, if they're even going to
Can we, let's see what I got going on here. Do you have a speaker on there?
Nah, it's just straight from the laptop.
Oh, okay.
So I was actually thinking about that while I was sitting there. So I think what I'll do is just do one of my tracks called Wait, just acapella.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
Like with no beat and just so you just hear the words.
Yeah.
That's
that
what
sounds
I like
good.
about my music anyway.
Yeah,
so,
perfect.
This track right here is called Wait.
Okay.
Pretty much this song kind of entitles how it feels as an artist going to Houston and kind of like people not really doing their part as far as, being cohesive and really trying to work together. And so, I feel like there's a lot of weight. On my shoulders, and also a lot of weight in life. So this track is called Weight.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
All right, cool. All right. I tell the world not to wait up on me. I went to get some food, the waiter tried to wait up on me. I said, is you a fool? Don't you see this weight upon me? Cause all these rappers out here trying to gain they weight up on me. Admiration of generations preceding me. When hip-hop was created, niggas was so eager be. Though they were limited, so made it way to BET. Big Tigger's Basement, Freestyle Friday with AJ and Free. Now it's so corny, I can't even watch the damn TV. While everybody else is hooked, that's our society. I liked the soul better when we was up in poverty. I get a little cheddar and we think we're prospering. Oh Lord, I'm waiting for the days that I got money and floorboards. Used to have to ride the bus when my car was no more. Juggling 2 jobs, trying to make it to school for. My summer school class is $1,300, I'm so poor. Dropping music, trying to find places to perform. But due to God's graces, I'ma make it through all storms. In my jupe fragrance, I could probably pull all whores. Got it from my daddy, just a taste of my story. I tell the world not to wait up on me. I went to get some food, the waiter tried to wait up on me. I said, is you a fool? Don't you see this weight upon me? Cause all these rappers out here trying to gain they weight up on me. I tell the world not to wait up on me. I went to get some food, waiter tried to wait up on me. I said, is you a fool? Don't you see this weight upon me? Cause all these rappers out here trying to gain they weight up on me. And I ain't having that. Where the fuck the passion at? Seen folks grab the mic in the cypher and quickly pass it back. Trying to flip the game to entertain like an acrobat. On the mic, I'm Benny from the Sandlot when I'm up to bat. How about that? Catch me outside if you the doctor to fill me in with rap. Otherwise, Hakuna Matata, I ain't got time for that. Trying to make a way for my daughter who hasn't left my sack. Sorry that I'm venting, got this fucking monkey on my back. I tell the world not to wait up on me. I went to get some food, the waiter tried to wait up on me. I said, is you a fool? Don't you see this weight upon me? Because all these rappers out here trying to gain their weight up on me. And that song right there is called
Very
Weight.
nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Thanks. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it.
Of course. All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk some more beer and shit. Sound good?
And tacos.
And tacos.
Hey, you guys, real quick, I wanted to tell you about these amazing new headphones I just got from Studio Sweden. I am in love with them. I'm not just using them to record my podcast, I'm using them to listen to all my favorite podcasts too. They have 24-hour wireless listening time. Do you know how incredible that is? They can also be used wired, and they come with an aux cord, which is super cool. They have interchangeable caps that you can put on the sides of your headphones to personalize them for you. They're foldable. They have a 10-meter range wirelessly, which is so awesome. They're super elegant. They have a minimal Scandinavian design, but here's the best part. The best part is you can go to studiosweden.com, use discount code She's Crafty, and get 15% off any purchase. So incredible. So get yourself a pair of Studio Sweden headphones, you guys.
Welcome to another week of Beer with Blake, beer news on the She's Crafty podcast. So, we're going to go on a little bit of a lighter note this week. Had some heavy news stories the past month or so. So let's get something a little bit more jovial. Let's talk about something fun. Let's talk about something Scottish. Scottish brewery Brewdog is proposing a pretty cool little concept. There may be a couple flaws with it though, but we'll get into that. They announced earlier this week, late last week, that amid all the political tension in the United States and Mexico, that they're going to build a bar on the border. Half and half. Half the bar is going to be in Mexico, half in the United States, Texas to be specific. They're going to serve Mexican beers on the Mexican side, American beers on the Texas side. I sure hope that's Texas beers on the Texas side. And their own beers right smack dab in the middle. Well, what could go wrong with this concept? Well, they're going to build it out of shipping containers. That's been done before, but that's cool. I like it. I like where this is going. There's more than a couple legal hurdles, not to mention border checkpoints, not to mention logistically, think about it. Think about a bar on the border of two countries such as the United States and Mexico. Are you done thinking about it yet? Nah, keep thinking. What's the biggest problem that you see? The entire border of Texas and Mexico is a giant frickin' river. It just adds a little bit of complexity to this story. Also tells me that they didn't bother looking at a map before they announced this. But I wish them well. I think it's a great concept. Now, that being said, as with most BrewDog concepts, it's most definitely a media grab. They like these outlandish headlines, and they do things for shock value. And that's perfectly fine. It's their brand of marketing. They have so much venture capital in their brewery, it's ridiculous. One of the few breweries to offer stocks, which I believe you can still get in on the United States fundraising on the stocks. It's like $90 for a share, $95 for a share. Comes with lifetime discounts at their store so long as you own the stock, all sorts of other cool stuff. Definitely check it out. They're building a brewery in the United States. I think they're building it a little bit big than what they need to right off the bat, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. They're known for taking regulatory agencies to court. They're known for ruffling feathers. They're known for not once, not twice, but 3 times having brewed the strongest beer in the world. I do encourage you to get onto your favorite YouTube and look up the BrewDog videos for both the Tactical Nuclear Penguin, rings in at a modest 32% alcohol and has an amazing video to go with the beer launch. And then the Germans came around and they bested that. So BrewDog came back and they created a beer called Sink the Bismarck. Modest 41% alcohol beer. Another great video on YouTube if you can find it. Germans came back and brewed a stronger beer. BrewDog got fed up and then they brewed what was called the end of history. Something like 55%. They only made, I think they made a case, maybe about 24 bottles or so. The last one I saw went for like $1,500. What makes it unique is each bottle was stuffed inside of a taxidermied roadkill animal. And it was 55%, which again, strongest beer in the world for a little while. So these guys are not new to publicity. I do encourage you to look up some of their antics. And while they may never get their bar between 2 countries, it sure makes for a good news story for this week. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all next week. Be sure to check us out, facebook.com/beerwithblake. Go straight to the source, beerwithblake.com. Drop me a line, blake@beerwithblake.com. Love to hear your thoughts, and if you have a news story that you'd like me to cover, feel free to reach out. Till next time, Prost.
Are you looking for a safe way to explore craft beer in our area? Well, look no further. Craft Cruiser is here to save the summer and cart you and your friends all over San Antonio and the Hill Country. From local craft beer bars to the best breweries around, Craft Cruiser is the premier brewery tour in town. It's a family-owned business with a passion for great craft beer. Buy single tickets or check out their group packages for bachelor and bachelorette parties, company outings, and much, much more. Don't drink and drive, just drink and cruise with Craft Cruiser. For more information, go to their website, sacraftcruiser.com. Those of you that listen to this show know that I am madly in love with the Alamo City. So it is no surprise that some of my favorite beers come from Freetail Brewing, the unofficial beer of San Antonio. They make damn good food and damn good beer. So hang with the local and check out Freetail Brewing. For more information, go to their website, freetailbrewing.com.
I tell the world not to wait up on me. I went to get some food, the waiter tried to wait up on me. I said, is you a fool? Don't you see this weight upon me? Cause other rappers out here trying to gang they weight up on me. Admiration of generations preceding me. When hip-hop was created, niggas was so eager be. Though they were limited, still made it way to BET. Big Tigger's Basement, Freestyle Friday with AJ and Free. Now it's so corny, I can't even watch the damn TV. tell the world not to wait up on me. I went to get some food, the waiter tried to wait up on me. I said, is you a fool? Don't you see this weight upon me? Cause other rappers out here trying to gain they weight up on me. I tell the world not to wait up on me. I went to get some food, the waiter tried to wait up on me. I said, is you a fool? Don't you see this weight upon me? Cause other rappers out here trying to gain they weight up on me. And I ain't having that. Where the fuck the passion at? Seen folks grab the mic and the cypher and quickly pass it back. Trying to flip the game to entertain like an acrobat. On the mic, I'm Benny from the Sandlot when I'm up to bat. How about that? Catch me outside if you the doctor to fill me in with rap. Otherwise, Hakuna Matata, I ain't got time for that. Trying to make a way for my daughter who hasn't left my sack. Sorry that I'm venting, got this fucking monkey on my back. I tell the world not to wait up on me. I went to get some food, the waiter tried to wait up on me. I said, is you a fool? Don't you see this weight upon me? Cause other rappers out here trying to gain they weight up on me. I tell the world not to wait up on me. Got some food, waiter tried to wait up on me. I said, is you a fool? Don't you see this weight up on me? Cause all these rappers out here trying to gain they weight up on me.
Okay, we're back, which is super exciting. We had some really great conversation off mic, which is always how this happens. But we were talking about getting people into craft beer, right? So, Mando, before you started doing this collaboration with Independence, did you drink a lot of craft beer? Like, what was your beer, your go-to beer?
Oh, sorry, I'm just finished eating tacos.
It's literally, it's super weird because it's like raining tacos, which never happens. But it's like it's taco precipitation.
Look up and tacos fall magically
coming
fall
out
into
of
my mouth.
Yeah.
No, I still am. I like choices, like everybody.
Yeah.
And so definitely when we were thinking about some sort of partnership with a brewer or a beer company, we were looking at different styles, and I love a good, wheat beer.
Yeah.
For sure. Over the summer, I like my stouts, for sure.
Yeah.
And anything smooth, coffee, chocolatey.
Ooh, yeah.
That gets you drunk.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love a coffee stout, but I find it can either be like the best experience of my life or the worst experience of my life for some reason. Like I can never get.
Yeah. That's pretty much me every weekend.
Every day.
That was the best decision and the worst
decision of my
life. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I do. I like, and that's why I think when Amy and I started talking, it was like it just made sense.
Yeah.
To do it. And so, just like me, there's lots of Latinos out there that also like those kind of choices. We will, though, still drink a Bud Light with my tío.
Yeah.
Or our fathers. Or our abuelos.
Yeah.
And because we have to. That's just the golden rule.
Yeah.
Well, I thought what was really cool about the first event that we were all a part of was at the Tamale House East, which is just such a classic Austin kind of place and family and that has been at it in Austin forever. So it was like, to me, the first time we ever actually met Mando in person, it was like at Tamale House East, and it was just captured everything because it's like, of course, like they have a good little selection of draft beer, and they put a lot of thought into the breweries that are represented there, and so I think that did capture it all. I mean, essentially it was like the ultimate taco party, though.
Yeah. No, it was. So for our book events, like our book tour, we didn't just, we actually never went to Barnes & Nobles, by the way, just for the record.
Okay.
Yeah, we had our book events or book signings, if you will.
Yeah.
At breweries, at taco shops, at,
Nice.
I think at some old movie houses. So we always, we need to mix it up like that, bring new people to new neighborhoods, and that's kind of it's been our approach,
Yeah.
And so for us, we were at the Tamale House East, which is known for tamales, but also tacos.
Yeah. Well, and Russ, Russ did the beer, helped with the beer selection there, and it's like he goes way back in my world, from like the old Crown and Anchor days and beyond, and so was just cool because here's a guy who knows a lot about beer too, who is helping, really curate a really great beer selection at this very like classic Austin place. So I think beer in Austin and particularly with this particular location, it was representative of some of the things that came to be.
Yeah, and then even like when we took the beer to El Paso, and people love the cucumber, and so and that was actually our biggest event for a book signing. We had like 800 people. It was
It just kept getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
like
it got bigger,
I saw
and bigger.
the posts on Facebook. You're like, and more people.
More people.
Wow.
There was
It was
like
in a park.
Yeah, there was like 200 people waiting in line to get some tacos out there.
Well, I mean, I'd fucking kill somebody for a taco.
Yeah, and even like a couple of weekends ago, I went back home and I brought some beer with me, and I had my tío taste it.
Yeah.
And he's my litmus test.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give you a lot of like, he just gives you like mean looks mostly.
Right.
And a lot of criticisms.
Right.
And so
serious guy.
And then he tasted it and he's like, with a nod, "Está bueno."
Nice.
So it approved.
Good. That's awesome. What do you think, Matt? Matt just tried it. My brother's here, by the way. He's back for another podcast.
Hey, brother.
Hello.
What did you think of that, of the beer?
It's really good. I like it. It's light.
Would it be funny if he was like, "This is fucking shit"?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it'd pair well with a lot of tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a Saison before?
I don't think so.
No.
Actually.
Yeah. It's good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Super yummy. I might have a few more. It's just all night.
Yeah.
Tacos and
Yeah.
beer.
Well, I think in a lot of ways in the beer world, people kind of got away about not totally, of course, but sometimes like people have gotten away from talking about traditional styles so much anymore because there's so many like new varieties.
Well, everybody's trying to do something, different and new.
Fusion. At Independence, we love messing around with styles too. Don't get me wrong. So it's kind of like fun. Lately, I was like, maybe it's like the throwback to the 90s that's happening lately, but I feel like all these things that we've been through in a previous life cycle are like now coming back. And maybe it's just because I'm finally old enough to remember stuff. But it's been really cool that way. Like, it's like, oh yeah, we did that way back when, and bringing it back and introducing it to more people, it just feels really fun all over again. I know I said that before, but it's like I've just had these experiences in this last year that have been so reminiscent of like 2003, 2004 when we first started, that it makes it really cool because I was like, wait a minute, it seems like people are kind of getting cynical in the beer world a little bit, or everything's kind of like very trendy and
right.
Whatever. And so it's kind of cool just go back to basics sometimes, and it's like, yeah, who knew? A Saison. Wow.
Yeah. No, I think part of the familiarity too is kind of what we did with with a design.
Yeah, the design is amazing.
Yeah, so it's obviously the protest fist, but with a taco tattoo on it, and we have our gotta give a shout out to Taco Creative for doing these hats for us, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like the same font, so you recognize it. And we included, some Spanglish in there, rooted in Texas and que vivan los tacos. And so, it's definitely built to appeal to, the Latino craft drinker for sure. And so with the messaging, you get it.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously, when you see it at the store, you're like, oh, whoa, what? Taco and a beer?
And I think it's really important that, like, and I've talked about this before on the podcast, but I don't see enough, I guess, brown people in craft beer for me. Well, like I would love to see more of that, and I feel, and hopefully, I'm hoping it's
gonna
gonna
come to our brewery because over 30% of our brewing team is,
I mean, I just, and I'm loving this so much because I feel like it's more inclusive and more.
Exactly, and it's not like playing on, at least, obviously, I'm very cognizant of these kind of messages, and so it's not playing on stereotypes.
No,
it's not like there's beers out there that definitely play on stereotypes.
Yeah,
and that kind of shit just like I'm gonna run away from that.
Right.
And I want people to like run towards this beer.
I think that's the luxury of being in Texas, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So our brewing team, we have 5 full-time brewers now. But, if 3 of them are of, Mexican-American descent, I just feel like we're lucky because we're going to be able to come up with ideas that are very representative of the place that we're from. And that's the whole point of having local breweries to begin with. And it's like, we're from here. We're going to try and think of things that'll appeal to us because we live here, damn it. Like, we want to drink beers that fit where we're from.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's really an interesting topic for sure, though, because a lot of times I think that we got these mega breweries that are like, doing market research and they think that it's going to be one way.
Right.
And you see a lot of cultural appropriation. And so one of the things behind this project that is really important to me is that it be very authentic and that we're, not just going off on this on our own, and it's like the whole idea of the collaboration is that, we know what the hell we're talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like pretty much street cred.
Yeah. Well, just like you wouldn't make a beer on your own, know?
No, exactly. We kind of like, have that,
use each other,
balance.
helping
we balance
each other
out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really, really love that. And I know that I say this all the time, but like it's really important to me. I am super passionate about craft beer. I just am. I'm passionate about the people that make it, and it's local, and I love all the brewers and Kevin and his wife and all the people that sell it. But those jobs and those things can't keep happening unless we open it up to everybody and make everybody feel like they're included.
Yeah, exactly.
And that doesn't happen if we have like exclusive clubs of craft beer, or like we exclude women, or we put dicks on the can, or like whatever. And so like all of that is I think it's important that we.
I think that we always used to say, and it's like I'll go back to one old story I have from my very first experiences, but to me it was always vitally important to not be like exclusive and too much snobbery in the world of beer.
Yeah.
We're not wine.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's for winos. Our job was always to educate and embrace and get more people in to try it. Right? And it's like, so my very first job, 21 years old, working at the bitter end, like on the street up the block, there was the old original Ginger Man in Austin, and then there was Waterloo Brewing right there. But we used to go to Ginger Man a lot because it was like, lo and behold, almost 40 taps. Like, this is outrageous. And, 1996, it's like the place to go. But they had a lot of import beers, not a lot. I mean, there's a little bit of everything, but man, that place, even though I loved it so much, if you didn't know what the hell you wanted to order the second you got up to the bar, it was like, back of the line, bitch. Like, you got to know. Like, there's no waiting here. And it was like, always felt very intimidating being such a young person and being like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what half of this stuff is. Like, how am I supposed to try it? And like, there was just a different mentality. And it's like, that's what I'm talking about. When I've always made it a point at the brewery. It's like, ask the questions. I'm happy to answer whatever question just try everything. Like, we want people to experience it and be able to learn. Like, it's just, I really detest going to a place where you have that level of intimidation, or I'm afraid to ask the question I have because, I don't want to be laughed at. And it's like, there's no room for that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that's encroached a little bit into the craft beer scene. And it's like, you don't need to be exclusive. We need to open it always
to everybody,
because
we want our kids and our grandkids and everybody to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to be fun.
Kids to drink, yeah.
It's beer.
I'm gonna give some beer to my kids
know
right
what
now.
I mean.
It's gonna
When
be
they're
a
18.
party.
Kinderbrew.
You take it off.
Or 21.
Do you want to go? You want
Whatever
to
that
let
age is.
people know where they can follow you and where you'll be next?
Alrighty, y'all. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you. You can find me on Instagram at DOT_O_. That's .o, so DOT_O_.
Awesome.
Again, thank you for having me. I really appreciate you guys.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's just make a beer.
That's
for
the end of my
everybody.
rant.
No, I go on rants every day, and then I'm like, delete. Yeah, every day. Well, awesome. So tell me so you've written this Tacos of Texas book, Mando, right? So what's next for you?
Eat more tacos.
That's it? Go live off that fucking taco money.
Hashtag life goals. Hashtag taco life. Hashtag get out of my way. No, we actually just got funded through ITVS to do a pilot travel show based on the book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So what ITVS is, they actually incubate a lot of storytellers through public media, whether it's radio or say like a PBS. It's going to be for a digital show for YouTube.
Okay.
And so we actually just shot the pilot episode in El Paso. We wanted
That's exciting.
First show had to be about border life and border food and because it's quasi PBS.
Right.
Educate people of like what they think a border town is and what it isn't too.
Yeah.
So we just shot that, and hopefully in the next couple months we'll find out if it gets greenlit. Then we're gonna do 6 to 7 more episodes, and including San Antonio and the Valley and Corpus, Houston, and the rest of Texas.
That's super exciting.
I know, yeah, it's pretty exciting.
I love that. And Amy, what do you guys have coming up at Independence that we can look forward to?
We are actually dry hopping as we speak. Our next seasonal release.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite terms, by the way. Dry hopping.
Dry hopping?
Yeah, dry hopping.
Sounds dirty.
It sounds like something I used to do a lot in high school.
Too, so
And then,
like there's jeans involved.
Yeah, there's jeans. And someone kind of like scurrying out of the house really fast.
Nothing. We weren't doing nothing.
I think this is intended for a 21 and over audience. No, we're working on a beer called Shiny Diamonds. It's a Dio-inspired reference, and it's a hoppy. So we couldn't decide. Do we call it a pale ale or an IPA or such? Tired of this is the one instance where like we're not going to label this beer.
Oh, nice.
Because it's hoppy, but it's like I'm tired of. I don't know. We just couldn't decide, I guess. But it's really delicious new hops. It's got Eureka and El Dorado.
Nice.
Essentially on the pilot system all last year, we were playing around with some new hops. It was the most popular beer on our pilot system and at the bar for 2016.
Wow.
So it made the vote of like what to bring out for a seasonal release. So really excited about it. It's going to come out. So we're going to release it on draft first so everyone can try it. And then look forward to it in September, October timeframe on the shelves.
That's exciting.
So
that's super exciting. And Kevin, what kind of so this is going to be released not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after.
What is?
This episode will be released next Tuesday. But so what kind of events do you have coming up? Kevin's not prepared.
Well, I do know that next Friday, August 11th, we're going to be down at Squeezebox for our first of our sponsored music series.
What?
Yeah.
You guys are doing a sponsored music series?
Oh, yeah. Finally.
I've been dreaming of this for over a year.
Only at the Squeezebox, or is it going to travel around?
We're doing the Squeezebox for sure. We've been working with these guys for literally since before they opened.
Okay.
Amy's been working on this, and so I've helped facilitate once I came on.
Okay.
And it's finally coming to fruition next Friday.
With Money Chicha.
And what
Money
band?
Chicha.
Oh, my God.
So we're launching with Money Chicha. Our next show in September, we're working on the details now, so look forward to that.
Okay.
But we're going to have 5 shows in total. So.
Oh, my God. That's fucking awesome.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And Money Chicha's so damn good.
Oh,
I'm so
my
happy.
gosh.
That's the first one.
That's amazing. Well, that's super cool. Anything else? You got some other events coming up?
Not a lot on the books just yet.
Okay.
So I know I'm going to be at the Hollow, or not the Hollow. I've changed names like 5 times recently, but Small Pint Night on a Monday.
Okay.
So
well, where can people follow you?
You want to spill the beans on ceviche?
Y'all do that again?
I'm excited to participate in ceviche and cervezas.
Oh, is Puro Pinche part of it again too?
We are going to bring her in there.
Yeah,
okay.
We're working on it all.
Okay, nice.
I'm prematurely
Yeah.
Well, bitches, you heard it here first.
Yeah, that's coming in towards the end of September, and I'm really excited. Just watching that on social media last year, I was like, man, what a phenomenal event.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Everybody was excited. I didn't get to go, unfortunately, but this year I get to do a lot
pregnant,
for it.
So I didn't really get to partake in it the way that I wanted. I think you went with me, right?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. And I couldn't really eat the ceviche either because it was like a lot of stuff you're not supposed to have when you're pregnant. So Matt doubled down for me.
I might have a VIP pass for you. So
fuck yes.
One of my favorite, aside from tacos, it's one of my favorite foods because when I was studying Spanish when I was in college, they actually took us to go learn. Took us to this restaurant in Austin, and they were like made us learn how to make ceviche, but you could only speak in Spanish. Yeah,
nice.
It was awesome. I was like,
don't date as tall as cerveza.
That sounds like my grandma.
I really didn't know what we were doing.
Nothing to do with the food.
Matt and I, our great grandma, anytime that she would talk to us, she would speak to us in Spanish, and then we weren't raised speaking Spanish, and we would respond to her in English, and she would just beat the shit out of us. She'd be like, and I'd be like, "Hola, ¿cómo estás, abuela?" I don't know what you're saying to me. Yeah. Well, awesome. That's super exciting.
Yeah. We do have a lot of fun stuff coming down the Pipeworks.
And
those
people
two are
can
definitely
follow
something
you
I'm excited
specifically.
On Indie Brew SATX.
Okay. And
Twitter, Instagram.
Perfect. And we can follow Independence.
Indie Brewing.
Okay. And we can follow Tacos of Texas.
Tacos of Texas.
How fucking awesome is that?
Or just smell. If it smells like tacos, we're probably around.
Shit. Yeah. I love that. So go do me a favor, everybody. I'm assuming you can buy this book anywhere the books are sold.
Yes. Yeah, you can buy it, at your closest taqueria or Amazon.
Oh,
whatever your preference.
Either one. You want that prime shipping?
Yeah. Oh, and you can get it at your HEB.
The Revolution beer. Yeah. And I've seen it like fucking everywhere. Yeah. Is it on tap anywhere? Or is it just cans?
Just cans.
Just cans. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, it's a perfect canned beer. Anyway, take it to the river, guys.
Oh yeah.
Just float down the river.
I mean, I've made tacos on the river before too. So
you can
make it, take it everywhere.
I tell people to take us to the river, but I fucking hate floating down the river. There's like nothing worse for me. It's the worst.
The lake, the pool. I don't know where to go, but
I don't like water. I wasn't made for that.
You're just air conditioning.
I'm air conditioning. That's what it is. That's what it is.
You're like over your head like
my kids are like, let's go to the water park. And I'm like, ooh, that sounds slimy, and I don't want to see other people in swimsuits.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
Horrible. What about, are you a camper then? I'm sensing not.
Is it I think the term is glamping, where you're
I don't like,
camping in hotel
there's
rooms?
Nothing. Yes, I will stay in a hotel. Yes, I don't mind it. Here's the thing: I have very unruly hair, and so that's horrible. I get headaches really easily because I'm just
that's what bandanas are for.
I'm a fragile flower, so like none of that sounds good. I get dehydrated, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't do this anymore.
You're like a freaking salamander, dude.
Yeah, I'm a lot of fun. I party. Yeah. Just like last night, I had the best experience ever. I got to do a show from the Bang Bang Bar with Girl in a Coma last night, which was like one of my bucket list items. It was fucking amazing, but I'm so old. Yeah. Okay. So like they didn't even want to start till 9, and I was like 9. My kids go to bed at 8.
Outrageous.
That's my bedtime.
It's all about day parties and day drinking.
Yes.
That's it.
So I got there and I'm setting up, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to start, and then we finally got it going, and it was awesome, and they played, and it was amazing, and then I guess I drank too much at some point. I don't remember doing it, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit here until it goes away. Yeah. And then I woke up.
Stop spinning.
I woke up this morning to my kids getting up.
Yeah.
And I was
kids
like,
actually know when you get hammered.
Yeah.
They wake up extra early.
Yeah.
Like, that's when it's like the 4 a.m.
They're like, motherfucker, get up.
Yeah.
I want my cereal.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
You know where it's at.
You're 10 years old.
Yeah.
Why can't you make
And
your
then
own
they're
fucking
right there,
bowls?
right in your face.
Yeah.
They know. They
Yeah.
know.
Like,
Mommy.
They don't ease up to it.
What I
They're
like
just
is we still can get away with euphemisms. I was like, we're under the weather.
Oh, yeah. I can too. Yeah.
Coming in.
Except that my oldest is about to be 16, so that doesn't work with her anymore. But the little ones have no idea.
Not feeling so good today.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
Maybe you guys could, because you're completely capable, could make your own bowl of cereal just this one day. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Well, guys.
Good times.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being on the She's Crafty podcast. I'm so honored to have you. And everybody go get this book, go buy this beer, and eat a shitload of tacos and drink some beer, guys.
Support your local taquero.
That's right.
Yes.
Go get it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
The She's Crafty podcast has only one mission, and that is to dominate this planet with a love of craft beer and comedy. You can help us do that by going to iTunes and rating, reviewing, and subscribing to the She's Crafty podcast. The more people that do that, the higher our rankings will get in iTunes, and the more people will listen to us. The more people that listen to us, the more badass fucking episodes we can put out every week. So go to iTunes and rate, review, and subscribe to the She's Crafty podcast.